Hello, everyone. It's Cheryl Millett live at 5 on Mondays, although it's not 5, right? The computer, as computer technology, isn't perfect, and we aren't perfect either. So it's a good match. So we just showed connecting, but it's still 5:55, something like that. Here today, what I wanted to talk about live at 5 is a couple of things. One thing is, what time is it? Sometimes you can see from the things that are around you, and this is, the acorn that makes the mighty oak tree. And I don't know if anybody remembers a little clip, a cartoon clip that actually was Chicken Little. Does anybody remember that? So Chicken Little was told a story. Now there's different ones, but it was told a story by a fox that the sky was falling. And this little chicken believed that the sky was falling and went and told everybody else. And of course there was a panic and they left, and he believes. It's kind of likened a little bit to fake news. So that's the acorn. Just remember, you can't believe everything that you hear. I surely don't want you to believe everything that I say. In that sense, do your research. That's important. You got to learn to think for yourself, because that gets to my next point, which is free will. And there's this wonderful, beautiful thing called free will. And who am I to know what's better for you? To know, maybe there's a purpose here as people have illnesses or they're doing this and doing that, and it's just going to work out the way it is anyway. And we soon learn in hindsight more about the situation. As I was just talking to somebody today who I've known his dog through my dog, and he was not well because his son had mentioned that. And today he's like feeling great. And through the hospital, they had said he had to get a knee surgery, and he contemplated that because his leg was all swollen and he couldn't walk. And we were joking about it and laughing because even going to the bathroom was so painful to bend down, because it was his whole leg that was affected with gout, right? With gout. So he was told, oh, well, it's never going to get better until you have this knee surgery. But he hates pills. And as much as he was listening to them, he said, well, let me learn more about this. And he went on and he discovered that if he changed his diet, it would go away. And shortly after him changing the diet, his legs started to go down. He felt a little better. And he made some clean diet changes, as I would say. So you have free will, and you can question, and you have to believe everything that everybody tells you, because everybody's working with the limited information that they have, what information they've been told, whether that's from school or even in the computer. So that's kind of trails, Chicken Little, what do you hear? What do you believe? You have free will, question. It's very, very important. And I know I mentioned, hi everyone. I mentioned on my Facebook page that it's hot. Well, here in Toronto, it is so hot. It's so humid. So what is hot? Yes, absolutely, the weather. And I'm drinking some homebrew of chaga, which is hot. And you might want to say, why would anybody want to drink anything hot on a hot day? There is this theory, and I'm perfectly fine with it, that if you drink ice, now I'm not talking about putting ice in your hands or the back of your neck, which is what runners help with, then it actually heats up your body. And if you have something warm, it actually opens everything up, and you're sweating, you're breathing, you can drink more water. And that's very helpful, very helpful. So I think it's from a person from India I first heard that. So I'm happy. I'm drinking my warm chicken broth today and warm chaga, and just, I stay away from the ice drinks anyway. I don't know if you put ice in there, but my understanding is, and even to do with Chinese and medicine, is that the ice is very cold on your body. And if you put, yeah, I've talked about this before. So if you put cold or ice on your skin, then it just shrinks or it just contracts, right? And we want to have that body temperature. The body's going to want to be body temperature. Anyway, there was something else I wanted to bring up again, because school is starting. Not that any of us here are in school, but you know, you might know kids that are in school. This would also, though, apply to anybody. And it was something that happened a while back where my youngest daughter got in trouble. The teacher's kind of complains loudly. And she got in trouble for actually not having snacks at school. And I'm not a big believer in having snacks all the time. You might be watching a movie and have some popcorn. It don't have to be perfect. But when she came home, she was very upset. She goes, "Mom, I gotta have snacks. I gotta have snacks. The teacher is, making me feel bad, and it's in front of the class, and got angry at me." So I sat with it, and I'm going, So I sent him an email, because the teacher and I had already had a couple of conversations. I was confident enough in that I let him know we just don't need all this food coming into our body. It takes that much more energy. And I really just want my daughter to have 3 meals a day. So from that, I started the no snack movement, which is, you may eat big meals already, or may you have 2 meals and then a snack, if we want to look at that, or I'll just look at that as a small meal. But the idea is, depending on our level of activity, and I'm going to think even that from the brain standpoint as well. So even the amount of activity you have to look at, that will determine how much food that you really need. And really, if you can avoid snacks, that'll kind of determine, but it actually allows our body to digest the food we already have and go through, and yes, take energy from that. But all food that comes into our body, even though it may be energy in itself, is going to take up energy. And this digestive system may very well be just working on that. So is running, possible when you've just eaten? They tell you not to swim right away. So level of activities and so forth. And it's uncomfortable. I don't know if you've ever tried to eat, I'm sure we all have overeaten and knows what that feels like, and it doesn't feel very comfortable. I've also tried eating just before bed. That was a horrific thing. I don't even think any of you should try it. It's that, for me, it was, first of all, I felt like all this energy, right? So it's like, didn't even want to go to sleep, because I just felt, you're just like, oh, wow, I'm gonna need to run here, as opposed to just lie down and relax. The other thing, I guess I'm going to say what I was feeling is something very heavy, something uncomfortable on the back, perhaps. But it was, it was not a good feeling. It took me extra long time to go to sleep and to settle in. I think my leg was like a nerve, they have that nervous leg or twitching leg or something like that as well. So that's really all I wanted to bring into today. I know that's actually quite a lot. So we talked about Chicken Little telling a big story about how the world was going to end, and that was from the Sly Fox, and everybody else reacted to that. And we have this thing called high story, or fake news, and you hear different sides, different perspectives. So just kind of keep that in mind. The other thing that we just finished talking about is the no snacks movement, and then we can kind of tie into free will on that, which is, I don't know what's better for you, and only you will know what's good for you. And you can just follow your, as they say, gut, right, or intuition. But really, when I'm dealing with clients, I step into every appointment going, who am I to know what's right for this person? or what they should do. And I just sit with that and listen to them and explore what they can be doing and what they're open to be doing and see what intuitively kind of pops in. So it's important for all of us, what intuitively kind of pops in. And I think there's a space where one has to be more still, or the thoughts, this big monkey brain here has to be quieter, and that's worked well. That's all for Live at 5 today, and I wish you a wonderful evening, and stay cool if you're in Toronto. I mean, probably most people have air conditioning, but I don't. So I like it that way. But take care, everyone. We'll see you next Monday, Live at 5 avec moi. Take care. Have a great evening.